Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Guatelmala Cafe is an okay game. This is one of those abstract, I move things over here on this board to move my guys over here. And you're really collecting these points through preserving, making, creating coffee. I'm a little unsure exactly what you're doing, but I know you're planting it and getting it out and creating a network so you can take it from the fields down to the boat, and it's this whole thing. I think the game's okay. It's a solid game. When it was released, it didn't really set the world on fire, but it's probably a better game at that point than it would be considered today. It's okay. You got big chunky wooden pieces, which is almost feels from a different era now. You have, just a little bit of artwork, and you have these like weird themes about making coffee. Nowadays, you're starting to see different themes pop up. People can make things about making dresses or trading the Mediterranean or zombies or superheroes. Zombies, you can have themes about superheroes or even zombies. You can have things like Star Trek or zombies. Anything with an IP, really, that'll be made into a game. Then you always have the trading that you'll be doing. But you start to see different things like space and Game of Thrones and fantasy and zombies. You're not always stuck on things like coffee. You used to see these very weird themes that were very dry, like making Guatemalan coffee. So that's what you'll be doing here. And it's okay, and you'll be moving things around. And nothing really makes thematic sense. Why am I moving this to move that? Making the canals and the little road things that you'll be making, that makes kind of sense. But the abstractness of it is there. Now, this isn't going to be for everybody. You're going to need to dry Euros, and I mean dry Euros. And you're going to need to kind of outdated pieces, those components. They're not going to hold up for today's standards whatsoever, but your mileage may vary. Now, there are people who like that sort of thing, and to be honest, I'm one of those people. But this one, to me, just didn't add enough in the strategic point where I was enjoying a little bit too much on the abstract side for me. And with the number of games that are released, it just didn't hold up. So this is one of those times where I say, it's a very solid game. It's a very good game. I'm looking for great games. So when I'm keeping a game versus purging it, sometimes unless you have something else like theme or the components or something else that a really neat mechanism that just pulls me in, where I'll say, hey, I'll keep it, it's going to find itself on the pile to be purged, and that's where Guatelmala Cafe find itself. It had to get pushed out. There's better games. It was never something on the shelf that I wanted to pull off. So for me, it's going to be a purge. Here's Guatelmala Cafe. These are the components. You're going to see the big Ticket to Ride type Rio Grande box. You're going to see the font here. I'm not crazy about this artwork kind of thing that they use, but it does give you what Guatemala probably looks like. Although you can tell from the board and setup, you're not going to get a lot of that. You can see a little bit about the back of the box about how things work. Now, when you open this up inside, you're not going to get any kind of common insert. It's going to have things that would kind of fit in there and you bag them up yourself. You're also going to get 2 of these boards that will be utilized at the same time. It's going to be kind of a hog space here. You're going to get some of these wooden roads that will be utilized. And you get a bunch of these. So these will be like boats in different colors. The females, yes, that's what they're called. And you're going to get these sheds in different colors that we place on the board. And you'll get these coffees, which you can sticker yourself, which is why mine is a little off. So that's pretty much the component. It's going to be really hard wood that is used. Very good. Colorful boards, not too bad. You're going to get 2 of them. They are double-sided depending on the number of players. This one is set up here where the setup is done for you. And there's an advanced side on the other side that will not have these markings on it, so you can place things wherever you want. The components are pretty darn good, but a lot of wood. Here's the rule book. I'm not crazy about the art that's attached to it. It's okay. Not a lot of pictures in here. Now, you can read this probably in about 15 or 20 minutes to get through it. Not a lot of examples and not a lot of pictures, so you have to be very careful with the words. There's no component breakdown. You have the words, but no pictures. So if you don't know what a shed is, you're going to find that out over here. It can be a little tricky trying to figure out what's going on from just a rule book. I did have to look at some videos that helped me out. The rule book is mediocre at best. I'll probably give it a 6 out of 10. Each player will get a number of tiles in their color. and these will be divvied up between the players. These are little coffee things that you don't use here. On this side of the board, you will see everything has a place with an outline. You put everything on. On the flip side, you can play the advanced game, which I don't recommend at first, and you guys can take turns placing those out. This board right here will be empty to start out, and this is where you'll be placing things. This is where you'll be placing things as the game goes on. On your turn, the game is very easy. This guy right here will be moving around this board over here. You don't really need to see both sides, so this is the best I can do, putting them side by side. You'll move this guy 1 to 3 spaces, and then you can activate the row or the column up this way, depending on which side of the board that you're on. If I am here, then I can purchase anything in this row. Now, when you purchase things on this row over here, you will put them over on this board over here. So if I were to purchase, say, a shed, it would cost me depending on what the price is on the board. And as you get to the bottom, they do cost more money. You can see here 2, here's a 4, and here's a 6. And you will just take your guy here, pay the cost, and put your shed on it. If you buy the females, you will use them to pour out of here. And the general rule speaking is that I can't put my browns next to your brown because then you wouldn't know whose brown is who. So, the opposing player could put white next to this person and kind of block it off, etc. You can also buy these boats. If you buy these boats, they're going to go down here in the ports. The top port is always the cheapest. So you put it here and pay $2. And if I wanted to place another one here, say a brown one, it would cost me $3. Now, anytime you take something from this board, you will always put a road in its place so it can be taken later, and the roads are free. So on a turn, you can move this 1 to 3 spots and then purchase things to put over. The alternative is that you will take one of these coffees from here. And what you're going to do on this is you would put it on the last space of the scoring track. And that means as you score points, the game will end when the scoring markers reach the coffee. Then you will score all of the tan ones. So let me give you an example here and say we had brown. So you put the brown one here, and now it would score this brown shed right here. And you would score for all the brown sheds on the board, whether they're mine or somebody else's. Each shed will give you 1 point per worker attached. So this place, brown would get 2. If there is a brown boat, which there is, it would be doubled. If there's another brown boat, it'd be tripled and then quadrupled, etc., etc. So the boats are multipliers. But keep in mind, after the boat is scored, whichever boat is on the lowest. So there was a brown on a 2 and a brown on a 3. The number would be tripled, but I would only get rid of the brown 2. And then everything else would move up. So say you scored the white, get rid of that, and this one will move up for next time. And that's how that kind of works. So it's a very easy game, moving this piece around, getting the pieces you want, putting them over here to maximize your points. As these come out, you'll be able to score them. You might want to blow through these if somebody else is going to score high and stop them from scoring a whole bunch. These boats will be multipliers, and you'll build roads. Once again, you only score for the boats if there's a road going from the boat to the shed. And that's how you play Guatelmala Cafe. Who should buy this game? Okay, so this is going to be very unique gamers. It's not going to be a non-gamer, and it's not going to be somebody who's new to gaming. They're not going to get into this. It's not going to pull them in. The theme's not going to be anywhere. One, you're going to have to either like the theme or not really care about themes too much. I'm not sure, if you're not into Guatemalan coffee or if you're not into the making of coffee, if you're going to look at this and be like, wow, this is just mind-blowing. So, you're going to be okay with the theme or putting it aside. You're going to be okay with the abstractness of what you're doing. How you're moving around that little board, and that means you line it up and you get it. You have to be fine with that. People who like dry Euros, or maybe 95 to 2005 era Euros, where it's a little bit dry, the components, the theme is odd, the components are wooden and okay, and they look good, but they're not going to stand out. That whole kind of dry atmosphere. If you fit into that niche, I think you like Guatelmala Cafe. It's a very solid game. It's also something you probably could pick up cheap. Now, if you're a budget gamer and you're looking for, I want a good bang for my buck, this is probably something you could play quite a few times that perhaps has been lost to time and maybe should not have. Guatelmala Cafe would be who I'd recommend for those. For me, it's a Purge. I just have too many games. It's just not strong enough to stay on my list with new games coming out and with the strong backlog of games that I want to play and have played. It's just not something I ever found myself pulling off of the shelf. So for me, it's a Purge. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. It really helps things out. Right now, we're trying to get over 2,000 subscribers. It would really help if you'd hit that subscribe button. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing.